As we talk about a car that's slated to be the first of 30 EVs to follow from Honda, and one that's an SUV, huge interest for it in the US is foregone. That car is the Honda Prologue. It's a car we briefly covered in our video on the Ultium 5. It being one of the 5 we featured that share GM's Ultium platform with cars like the Chevy Blazer. You can check that video here or in the description. The Honda Prologue is a mid-sized SUV that was announced in the US on the 28th of September 2023. We now have a breakup of the actual specs and we will like to share them here, followed by our impressions and with other things that we have learnt. The Honda Prologue has listed 3 trims called the EX, the Touring and the Elite. 2 single motor front wheel drive trims and 3 all wheel drive ones. There is one front wheel and all wheel drive option each in the EX and the Touring and an additional standalone all wheel drive one in the top spec Elite. The rear motors in the all wheel drive trims are induction motors with a major workload in the front. All the 5 options have an 85 kWh battery pack that's probably 89 kWh gross. Every one has a peak DC rate of 155 kW, which is clearly on the lower side. Though that could be compensated if the charging curve is good, which we do not know as yet. But given that, we would have loved to see 225 to 250 kilowatts. The 11.5 kW or 48 amps on-board AC charging is adequate. The operating voltage of this car is quite low, around 320 to 340 odd volts, and hence it maxes at a 350 amp request from the charger. So version 3 Tesla supercharger will max the capacity. The Tesla adapter will follow in sequence of the makers signing up for it. Honda was pretty late and hence will be down the line for the adapter. To go with that, Honda is offering a 11.5 kilowatt home charging station with a $500 credit towards installation and a $100 credit towards public charging. A 7.6 kilowatt electric vehicle charging equipment with a $300 public charging credit and $250 incentive for home installation. That's all far better than the random free charging rolled out by some brands. The front wheel drive trims in both the EX and the Touring are estimated to have 296 miles of range. The first 2 all-wheel drive trims are estimated at 281 miles and the standalone Elite with 273 miles. Those are all decent numbers and we'll keep an eye on the real world performance. Every trim brings a towing capability of 1500 pounds. The front wheel drive trims bring 212 horsepower and 236 pound-feet of torque. The number is 288 and 333 for the all-wheel drive trims. Every trim is 192 inches in length with a 121.8 inches wheelbase, like the Honda Passport, and 78.3 inches in width. The differences are only in the height and based on the drive systems. The all-wheel drive trims are 65.2 inches in height and the front-wheel drive trims are 64.7 inches in height. The ground clearance is 7.9 inches for the front-wheel drive and 8.1 inches in the all-wheel drive trims. The storage is by the trim groups. The EX has 25.2 cubic feet of rear storage and 57.7 cubic feet with seats folded. The number is 23.7 cubic feet and 54.5 cubic feet in the Touring and Elite trims. The EX front-wheel drive is 4,932 pounds. The EX all-wheel drive is 5,086 pounds. The Touring is 5,083 pounds and 5,207 pounds in smaller drive systems. And the Elite is 5,207 pounds. The Prologue appears set for a very sporty drive with its low center of gravity. It has an active sound control function that actually generates sound linked to the acceleration and deceleration of the car. Not something it's the first to do, of course, but clearly a distinct feature. Google's software seems to be improving with estimating charging on its navigation. Though this is something we have not tried as yet, and even with those illustrations checked in a stationary state, it's something that will best be known only on a real road trip. The car has an 11-inch digital instrument cluster and an 11.3 inches center display. It supports both wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, has two USB-C ports each in the front and rear, has one 12-volt socket in the front console and one in the rear cargo area, in addition to one 110-volt outlet in the rear console. It has a multi-link front and rear suspension that will add to the comfort, on top of the very roomy interiors that designers seem to have achieved. And we are surprised by the relatively low variables it has achieved with power and performance. The 288 horsepower will be very impressive against a gasoline car, but is very low for an electric vehicle. The car has a 80% daily charging recommendation. If you open the front trunk, you will see all old school General Motors. There is no front trunk, and all you will be greeted with is wires and components that befit an internal combustion car. Just a reminder that it's ages yet for legacy automakers to design good electric vehicles. Not only are the wires meshed all over, it's also packaged poorly. I would be wary of the charging of its 12-volt battery by its high voltage one after the car has been stationary for a long time. Best to check with the engineers before getting in, generally with the 12-volt battery issues. The rear headroom and the trunk height both seem short, though the rear legroom and the volume of the trunk both look fine. We will add a link to the full set of features in the description. There is some mismatch we see in the ambitions of this car and the production numbers from GM's battery unit. In light of GM's own needs with its other cars slated for release on the platform and their huge likely underperformance assembling Ultium batteries. Based on reports we hear, GM has faced issues assembling the Ultium battery modules even after getting the difficult task of producing adequate cells right. This is an evolving story to watch on the sides, but with a huge bearing on the car in focus here, which relies on the Ultium platform. Honda, however, has continued to maintain its goal with the numbers for the Prologue. I assume backed by the contractual obligation of GM, so that's something to track as we move forward. The Prologue, or at least some trims of it, are manufactured in Mexico and hence may qualify for the tax credit. This is probably the beginning of that route to the incentives, with big makers setting up plants in North America. On the whole, this is a great looking GM car with a Honda badge, with miles in front of it on getting things right with the software, displaying the most user optimized information, deeply integrating with the software needs of an electric car, and enhancing the user experience. We will continue to bring to you more information on the Prologue and other electric vehicles as we keep learning. If you want to see our video on the February 2024 mid-quarter price check of Tesla cars, click here or in the description. See you in the next one.